Interested in supporting Blue Valley activities and athletics? All In BV offers businesses unique opportunities to get involved. From video boards and static signage at athletic events to elementary car pickup tag sponsorships seen by families every day. Your partnership directly supports Blue Valley students, athletes, and performers while giving your business valuable community visibility. Learn more at bluevalleyk12.org/allinbv.
I love Blue Valley because I feel a lot of support. It's a great community.
We are a people that believe in excellence, that believe in constantly striving for more.
I think that there's a lot of opportunities that I would have never explored on my own, and all of the teachers and staff here at Blue Valley make everything so much easier and more accessible.
Hello, welcome to Blue Valley Unmuted. I'm Gillian Chapman, the proud superintendent of Blue Valley Schools. Thanks for joining us today as we highlight 2 Blue Valley alumni and 1 current student who are setting records and making history in their fields. Joining me in today's conversation are Ash Jackson, Blue Valley West freshman, Swetha Newcomb, a Blue Valley West graduate and owner and chef of Course, and Bridget Howard, a Blue Valley High graduate and a broadcaster for the Kansas City Royals. Thank you all for being here today. I'm excited to learn more about each of you and what led you to where you are today, but I think we first need to share with listeners a little bit about your recent accomplishments. Ash, you were recently featured in Times Architect in AI article. Swetha, you were recently named a James Beard Best Chef semifinalist for your restaurant, Of Course. And Bridget, you're breaking barriers by becoming the first woman to appear consistently on the Royals broadcast in the history of the franchise. First, congratulations to all of you for these outstanding accomplishments. Ash, I'd like to start with you. What got you interested in AI?
My coding teacher in 7th grade told us that, because I make characters, and so I use AI as part of my progress sometimes, not as much anymore, but I started as a way to envision the characters that I create, and my teacher told us that we had an opportunity. So
that's fantastic. And tell us what your teacher's name is so we can do a little shout out there.
Mr. Grindstaff.
You've had the unique experience of being recognized for your work in AI at a young age, and I'm sure you've had the opportunity to continue learning about it. Has your perspective on AI changed since you started?
Yes, it's actually changed a lot. Because I'm part of a pretty big art community online, I don't share as much art, but I do like looking at art online and using it as inspiration. So throughout my time kind of in the online art community, I've noticed that a lot of people try to pass off AI as actual people's art and try to receive the same credit for a less amount of work using AI as a catalyst.
Interesting. So as you look to the future, what kind of impact do you hope to have, whether in the world of AI or elsewhere?
I'm actually right now trying to pick out classes to become a marine biologist or a biologist in general. And I just want to help animals, which is why I want to become a biologist.
That's fantastic. As a current student, what kind of support have you felt from your teachers while exploring what your interests are?
My teachers have helped me when it comes to planning my schedule and picking out classes that can help me, with specialized classes for a specific field or just for biology in general. So I have classes that will help me in courses I want to take in the future.
Great, thank you. Swetha, could you tell us, how did you become interested in the culinary arts?
That's my favorite question because I want to give a big shout out to my mom. It really all started in her kitchen. I was very much obsessed with watching her cook fresh meals every night from scratch. And, when you're raised eating the same food every day, you kind of take that for granted. So I did kind of take a break from Indian food all throughout college and stuff. And then when I moved back in with them for a little bit, that's kind of when I reconnected with my love for cooking. So kudos to my mom. She's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Isn't that amazing? I'm sure that story just warms her heart. Can you tell us about your journey to opening Of Course?
Yes, so it was kind of a crazy pivot there. I went to KU and got a bachelor's degree in communications and business, and I just did not ever see myself pursuing the culinary arts because it wasn't as big of an option for females back when I was, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I set that dream aside. And then I met my husband senior year of college, and he could tell I was starting to freak out a little bit, that real life was around the corner, and I wasn't, satisfied with all the choices that I've made in my career path. So he was the one who pushed me to pursue going to culinary school. I did the program at Johnson County. And then after that, I became a private chef. And then we opened, Of Course, 5 years later.
For listeners who have never been to Of Course, can you tell us about the concept of your restaurant?
Yes, so Of Course is a play on words for courses of food, and that phrase is used a lot in the service industry. I like to mesh a lot of South Asian ingredients with what is really popular in the Midwest. So, for example, we've got these black cardamom smoked burnt ends. We took a classic Midwestern dish, barbecue is huge in Kansas City, and we braised them in Indian spices and tossed them with an Indian curry. And they were just on the New York Times, actually. So that dish is a really good example of what we do here.
That's fantastic. It sounds delicious. Now my stomach is growling. How did you come up with the name Of Course?
So it's a play on words for courses of food. A lot of people don't understand that at first. So maybe I should have picked an easier name, but I just was thinking in terms of service industry. People say Of Course a lot as well.
And tell us, where is Of Course located?
159th and 69 Highway. We are in a new shopping complex called Blue Hawk.
Wonderful. So I'd like to shift gears and talk about your experience in Blue Valley schools. Are there any experiences from your time in Blue Valley, either inside or outside of school, that really stand out as shaping who you are today?
Yes, I think growing up, I'm a first generation immigrant. Growing up in a predominantly white part of the United States, it was really hard for me I was having a little bit of an identity crisis, but I always felt like I belonged at Blue Valley West. I felt really safe there. And I know a lot of my Indian friends did not have the same experience at their high schools. So I'm extremely grateful for that. Every time I think back to my childhood, I have only amazing memories from Blue Valley West, and we actually live in that area, and my son will be going there. So it's really cool that we've kind of stuck around, and I can't wait to see him there.
Sure. And your restaurant's right in the area, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, you don't think you're going to open your business up across the street from where you went to high school, but I'm okay with it.
Well, you have a lot of students nearby and their families, so I think it makes sense. Were
Yes.
there moments in high school that helped shape your interest in the culinary world?
Oh my gosh, yes. That's where I took my first cooking classes. I remember I finished all of them maybe by sophomore year, and I kept thinking, what am I going to do now? I asked if I could take them again because I love them so much, but that is where my love started.
And was there someone, maybe a teacher or a mentor while in high school or while in Blue Valley schools who really supported you?
Yes, I have mom brain, so you guys are going to have to look this up for me if you can, but she was the culinary teacher at Blue Valley West. But she was great. I know she was there for a very long time, and that's actually where I made my first pie. I know we talked about our favorite dessert earlier, so I hope she's still there. Who knows? She might be.
Well, we will definitely look it up and let her know that she got a shout out, and maybe she'll come in and visit you in your restaurant, Of Course.
I would love it.
That would be awesome. Were there any experiences in Blue Valley that really helped you develop skills or traits that you still carry with you today?
Yeah, Yeah, so I was the school TV show producer at Blue Valley. I did go to Blue Valley Southwest for the first year that it was opened. So I was the producer there for a year, and that was when that was really my creative outlet because I was done with all the culinary classes and I got to do some really awesome stuff there with Mr. Cortez. He's such an amazing teacher. And since we were the first ones to open up that school, we got to pick all the equipment we wanted. So we had these large crane cameras and we were taking cool shots outside, and we probably would have bought a drone if those existed back then, but shout out to Mr. Cortez. That was a fun class.
It sounds like it. And what a treat to get to open a school and to pick out all the equipment. That's really very neat. I would have picked out anything pink. So, and if you were sitting here, you would know that I'm wearing all pink.
I love that. Yes, so Wolfbite TV is what it's called, and I got to pick that name.
Nice, nice. See, your legacy lives on.
I guess.
Bridget, let's turn to you. When did you first realize being a sports host and sideline reporter was what you wanted to do?
Yeah, for me, it really started in high school. I always loved talking, and I especially loved talking about sports, so it just felt like a natural fit for me. Once I realized that there was an actual career path where I could combine those two things, being on camera, telling stories in the sports world, it really clicked early for me. And so from that point on, I started looking for every opportunity to build experience and figure out how to turn that passion into a career.
Well, what a unique opportunity to break barriers in the sports world by becoming the first woman to appear consistently on the Royals broadcast in the history of the franchise. What has that experience been like for you so far?
It's been incredibly rewarding and honestly something I don't take lightly. There's definitely a sense of responsibility that comes with it, but also a lot of pride. And at the same time, I'm just really proud of the fact that I earned this role because of my work and the job that I do, not just because I'm a woman. I've been fortunate to be surrounded by a team with the Royals that really values preparation, storytelling, and professionalism first. And while all of that is really important to me, I'm also very aware of the bigger picture, and that visibility matters. And if I can help open doors or make this space feel more accessible for other women, that means a lot to me.
And that's a perfect segue into my next question. What advice would you give to young women who want to work in sports?
Well, for starters, I would say don't wait for permission. Just start where you are and take every opportunity to get reps that you can, whether that's creating your own content with your iPhone, working behind the scenes, or reaching out to people in the industry. It all adds up in its own unique way. And also, don't be afraid to be yourself. There's room for different voices in this space, and authenticity is what ultimately sets you apart and makes you different from others to help you get certain jobs. And I'd also say one of my favorite quotes is be where your feet are. Enjoy each step of your journey. It's easy to focus on what's next and look forward, but there's so much value in just fully embracing where you are and growing through each stage.
Thank you. That's a great quote. Switching to talking about your experience in Blue Valley, you were part of the CAPS program. What strand did you participate in, and how did those experiences prepare you for your job with the Royals?
Yeah, so I don't remember the exact strand, but I know it was broadcast communications, and it really was such a foundational experience for me. It gave me early exposure to professional environments and real-world expectations, and that helped build both my confidence and my skill set. I think also just being a part of that, I learned how to communicate, collaborate, and really just take ownership of projects at such a young age, and that's really translated directly into what I do now on a daily basis.
Were there other experiences in high school that helped build your confidence in pursuing this career?
Absolutely. I think just saying yes to opportunities early on made a huge difference for me, whether it was, presentations or group projects or anything that really pushed me a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Those moments really helped me get comfortable being uncomfortable, which is such a big part of broadcasting in this industry. So over time, I think that just builds confidence and you start to trust your voice and your ability to show up. And I've seen that pay off in my career.
Mm-hmm. Trusting your voice is really powerful, and I think I heard a little bit of that in each one of your comments today. It's really powerful hearing how those early experiences shaped all of you. Ash, as you think you're a freshman in high school, although it's probably doesn't sound like to our listeners that you could possibly be a freshman, but What advice would you give to middle school students and thinking about your path so far?
I would say take every opportunity you can, because I know that I've personally tried out for a lot, and even if you don't make it, that's not a reason to give up on something. If you really want to do something, you can show the person in charge, the people who are going to pick, that you really want to do it by continuing to try and trying to find other ways to get involved and stay involved.
Excellent advice. How about you, Bridget?
I think for me, one of the biggest things, that I mentioned earlier is just to be where your feet are. It's so easy to get caught up in what's next, where you're going to go to college, your career, the next opportunity, but there's real value in just fully investing where you are right now, the classes that you're in, the programs that you're a part of, the people that are around you. Those are all building blocks. So when you're present, I think you grow more and you learn more and you actually enjoy the process a lot more. And then at the same time, I also really believe that luck favors the prepared. The opportunities will come for you sometimes when you least expect them, but it's really what you've done beforehand that determines if you're ready for them. So just take advantage of everything you have access to in Blue Valley. Say yes to opportunities and put in the work now. That way, when the door opens for you, you're not just hoping for a chance, you're ready to walk right through it.
Excellent. And Swetha, how about you? What advice would you give?
I loved what Bridget said. I think just knowing that you are in good hands, you're in one of the best districts in the world, and that there's so much support around you to take advantage of the resources that you have. And I think I'm a good example of being a little bit confused, trying the traditional route, and it didn't work out for me, and that's okay because I'm good now. So always follow your dreams, and it doesn't always have to be what everyone else is doing around you.
Thank you. I think what's especially meaningful for our listeners is seeing how these early experiences in Blue Valley help shape where you are today. It's a great reminder that the opportunities and support students have now can really turn into something bigger down the road. Thank you again to all three of you for being here and for sharing your stories. And thank you to our listeners for joining us today. Have a great day, Blue Valley.
Want to see what learning looks like in action? Follow Blue Valley Schools on Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. From student success stories to behind-the-scenes moments, you'll get an inside look at how we are cultivating lifelong learners prepared to navigate their future with purpose. Get connected, stay informed, be inspired.